Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Barry Beckham. Our subject for this video is really an introduction to the concept of layers. Layers, of course, are a part of Photoshop, not Lightroom. But are they a mystery or just a technique we haven't learned yet? Understanding the concept of how layers work is very important. Many creative techniques flow from the concept of how layers work. If we can visualize an image in our head, it's almost certain that one way or another we can create it in layers. But of course, when I sat down and created this image, I didn't actually have that image in mind when I started, of course. It evolved slowly. I started off with the beach huts, cut them out, copied and flipped them, then the creative process took over. Now, despite how the images look on screen at times, layers techniques can often be fairly simple. Here we have 4 layers, but in actual fact, the balloon has been duplicated. It's exactly the same balloon. Even multi-layered montages are not that difficult to create, because even though this image may contain 6 images in total, whatever I did with the first one, I generally did with the other 5. This image looks as though it may be quite complex to put together, but in fact it's just 2 layers. It's understanding the concept of layers that led to this particular image. Now, I didn't have this image in mind when I shot the picture, but when I photographed the people sitting in this artwork, of course they didn't look as though they were 20,000 feet in the air because they was firmly anchored to the ground. But I knew I could do something in layers, and this is the end result. Now, I believe setting ourselves a project is a great way to learn layers. Better to do something like that, I think, than just to play around with the odd image here and there. Yes, it's going to take us a little while to get that first project complete, but at the end of the exercise, we do have an image to show for our troubles, and we would have learnt quite a lot along the way. One idea for that project is to create an image with strategic colour, because it teaches us quite a bit about layers, and we're going to need a mask as well. This is an image that's just been successful for me in a camera club competition, and again it's just 2 simple layers, no masks, just 2 layers blended together. Now, this image I created quite a few years ago now has more layers, but the process is exactly the same for every firework that I've overlaid over the Houses of Parliament. Layers can also help us make our filters and textures more unique to us. Whenever we apply filters or textures to an image, generally speaking, they'll enhance some areas of the image, but there's often an area where they don't. Well, if we use layers, we can have the best of both worlds. Here I've used multi-layers to allow me to add different filter effects to different parts of the image and then combine them with strategic colour. It is layers that allow us to create these breakout effects and create frames and borders for our images, whether they're going to be projected or printed. Layers will often require some help from selections within Photoshop. Selections are generally the way we cut out a background from a car like this. On the positive side though, the introduction of AI into our software is making selections easier all the time. If you're a member of a camera club and you take a picture of a piece of art on the wall, the judge will often tell you you've just photographed somebody else's art, and if you want to present it in camera club competitions, you should put your own stamp, your own creativity onto that image. Well, here's a way to do that. Simple images, none of which would probably stand alone in a camera club competition, but we can combine them in layers and make something unique. So what I'd like to do in the next video is to demonstrate the concept of layers within Photoshop.